ancient 8,000-year-old mixer in Public Power Corporation excavation was accidentally found, and that's what the fragments suggest. Impressive are the facts that have come to light from the multi-year archaeological research conducted in the area of Amindios, Florina in northern Greece, which began after excavations by the Public Power Corporation for the extraction of coal. The presentation by the archaeologist of the Effort of Prehistoric and Classical Antiquities, Panikos Chrysostomos, is entitled The Civilization of the Four Lakes, and lists impressive facts about the prehistoric inhabitants of the area, with a chronological dive that reaches 6,500 BC and follows the course of water and human activity. The first settlements, he says, were created in the second half of the 7th millennium BC in or near lakes and swampy areas. The lakeside settlements of the next two millennia were organized into neighborhoods of 3 to 6 dwellings, which were based on common platforms of horizontally arranged tree trunks. Usually the houses were one story with a gable roof. However, the layers formed by the repeated fires and the subsequent destruction of the Neolithic villages in the area show that many dwellings were distinguished for their size, had doors and windows around the perimeter, and were 2 stories tall, while they included a balcony on the first floor. On the contrary, in the land settlement sites, the space was organized based on the layout of the ditches and enclosures, and the houses were developed in groups of 4 or 5 or 6 houses, emphasized in his introduction Mr. Chrysostomou. The findings result from the study of the layers formed by the fire-damaged buildings, while the interior of the houses with ovens or stoves, storage areas, desks, and tools is of particular interest. One of the most impressive finds in the area was a 4-legged seat dating back to around 7,500 years old, and it seems that those cultures even used mixers, as ceramic fragments were found that suggested the use of some kind of a food mixer from as far back as 6,000 BC. Finally, a multitude of jewelry consisting mainly of disc-shaped beads of various shapes, sizes, and materials, or of peripats and bracelets, express the notion of elegance of the time, but also the symbolic intentions of the wearers. Burial customs seem to vary according to season and region, and thus, while at the beginning of the Neolithic period of the Amientos Basin of northern Greece, only burials are found in a timid position, while towards the end, at least in the area of Lake Haematidis, cremations and infusions of the remains of the cremations of the dead are found. Stone, bone, and bronze objects finds date back to the Bronze Age 3100 to 1100 AD, while a generalized fire at the end of the period completely destroys the elements of life and sinks the remains of the houses to the bottom of the lake. The Iron Age, 1100 to the 5th century BC, that follows, gives evidence only from its cemeteries and especially from that of St. Panteleimon. The find of last year's excavation period is typical: 5 mounds with 148 box-shaped tombs and a cluster of tombs dependent on the royal burial enclosure were demarcated and excavated, during which a stone building seat for funeral dinners was uncovered, a stone-built seat, and around this structure pits were found with bones and rich offerings, such as bronze sword with golden nails. In the same area, a female burial was found with a diadem, a crown that is, and parts of headdress and clothing. The frequent appearances of women with diadems and complex jewelry from the necropolis testifies to the existence of a priesthood or a different social hierarchy, the announcement emphasizes. And this is from the Greek newspaper Ephemerida. I've translated for you from Greek. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.